Alright, so for today, we're going to talk about opening up an HSA investment account. Most HSAs offer an option to invest funds into different kinds of investments through a brokerage account. So let's look at the options here and see what we can do with investing our HSA funds. So here, I already read through this, but here we offer a couple different options, TD Ameritrade and this Devenir. I'm going to go for the TD Ameritrade, and we'll walk through how to set this up step by step so you guys know what it's like. With creating any brokerage account, they're going to ask for personal information and you to agree to their terms and conditions and a few other questions that you'll have to answer honestly on your own. I did not record this process, but after you do this, your brokerage account should be linked to your health savings account. If your health savings account does allow more than one investment brokerage option, read the different conditions for each one. The reason that I chose TD Ameritrade is because it was cheaper overall, there was less fees associated with it, and also they're a name brand that I've heard of before and familiar with versus the other investment option. But it actually turned out to be a better deal to invest in TD Ameritrade, so that's why I went that route. The next step is to go back to your HSA account in this scenario, and you're going to go from the home page. You will go over to your investments tab. So accounts, investments, and then manage investments. Probably make a one-time transfer to get things started, and then we can go from there. So select the account you want to transfer from. So my HSA account, okay, and then select the account you want to transfer to. TD Ameritrade, transfer amount. So let's do $2,000 right now and just see how it goes. And then we will click continue. After the transfer is complete, it will show up in a transfer schedule, but let's look just to be sure. So this will get transferred on the 17th. Once these funds are transferred into my account, I should be able to invest them. And they're going to be transferred into a holding account. What is this fair market value is usually a holding account that the funds are just kind of held in. And then after they're in there, you can choose where they're invested. Successfully transferred over some funds into the brokerage holding account for my HSA investments. Total that has been transferred was $3,000 transferred into the holding account, and I invested it into an index fund here, and this is a Schwab large cap growth index fund. So to find the funds you want to invest in, and this is genuinely how you can find them on most brokerages, is you can usually find a list and then filter them down to what you're looking for specifically. So for TD Ameritrade, you would go to research and ideas and then down to screeners, and you can pick kind of whichever ones you're looking for. If you're looking for individual companies, you go to stocks. If you're looking for options or ETFs, etc., you can click on what you want. I'm looking for index funds, so we click mutual funds, and we can start a new screen just to show you how to do this. So these are some automatically checked options you can read here. Funds availability, only show funds available through TD Ameritrade. Only show funds that are open to new investors. And then no transaction fees, that's a plus. Only show funds with no transaction fees, great. And here's some more things you can check to filter down your options. So I want index funds, that's what I'm going to look for, so it clicks show, only show index funds. And the rest of this I think I left blank, but you can select kind of whatever it is that you're looking for specifically if you'd like, if you want more details with what they have here. And I really would like to see the expense ratios because I'm looking specifically for low cost index funds. So let's just go ahead and view what they have and organize from there. I initially was just looking through the names to see if I found anything familiar or compare it to some of my other investment brokerages. And TD Ameritrade, if you go over here, slide this over, you can find their gross expense ratio and net expense ratio, and you can organize according to the expense ratio. Because for my specific investment strategy, for example, I'm looking for low-cost index funds, and like these here, 0.02 to 0.06 to 5, that's the range I'd really prefer for my index investing. And as you can see, the type of index funds that fall under that category are these Schwab accounts, and these are the NTFs, I think no transaction fees and things like that, that are partnering with TD Ameritrade. So you can see this little symbol here. It shows that I have some investments in this particular account, and then here's just like an S&P 500 equivalent of the Schwab account that's here, and you can, for example, buy or sell from these. You can click on them and look into them a little bit further, like most brokerages, and you can see all of the details if you want to get into it, about it. I mean, they have all the information that you could want. So once you find the one that you want, then you can just click buy, and you can check the symbol that you want. Now, normally they'll have because all my funds are invested in a particular index fund, I don't have a holding account that I can transfer funds to. So that's something that you would be able to do whenever they ask you, okay, you want to invest in this particular stock, there's no transaction fee. How much do you want to invest? And you can review the order and go from there. So how you can set all this up, which we can review later, is you can set up automatic transfers to go from your health savings account into the brokerage account, into the brokerage holding account, and then you can set up automatic transfers to invest in whatever investments you want to make as well every month. So really you won't have to do anything, because your HSA is usually funded automatically by your employer, and all of that can be just streamlined to where once you know your investments and what you want to invest in, you're set and you're good to go. You just have to get those automatic transfers set up on, the appropriate dates, so you're not withdrawing funds that aren't there, and you should be all set.